Should you do cardio? So the summary here is cardio for health and longevity is a great idea. Moving your body more often is associated with huge benefits in terms of, less risk of death from cardiovascular disease and lower all cause mortality. So there are big benefits to doing more cardio and moving your body more often, both on the more intense side of cardio and the more steady state, very easy paced like walking side of cardio. So definitely put in as much of that stuff as you can, recover from and tolerate and have time and energy for sustainably. But on the other side, cardio for fitness and body composition is optional. So it's usually easier to learn how to eat less than it is to move enough to be able to eat whatever you want. Most people I know cannot eat just whatever they want. I think that's kind of a pipe dream that a lot of people have for whatever, or I guess because in high school you felt like you could, right? You were eating probably like 2 meals a day, and you had practice after school, and you were doing whatever you wanted, and going out dancing on the weekends or whatever the hell you did in high school. At any rate, those days are over. I'm sorry, people, but we got to be a little bit more responsible, just like how we have to be more responsible with money when we get older. It's just something we have to be a little bit more cognizant of. Doesn't mean you have to be super restrictive and draconian with your policies of yourself. You need to just be aware of, hey, am I in a good spot right now for the goals that I have in terms of, how much I'm eating and things like that? And would I be benefited or detrimented by adding some cardio in there? Most of the time, adding a little bit of cardio is a good idea, but not if you're trying to make up for a big energy surplus that you're trying to reduce. It's not really going to be a good long-term strategy there, because it's just too much. It's too much easier to eat than it is to burn calories. I as a coach, I like to recommend standardizing an approximate calories you eat. So if you don't need to track everything you eat meticulously, but if you kind of have a ballpark idea of like, I'm usually getting around say 1,800 calories a day or so, that will be good to know, because you can then cross-reference that with, okay, what is happening to my weight over time? Oh, I'm losing weight. Great. All right, cool. Well, I'll maybe pepper in some cardio on these days of the week because I like the health benefits of doing it, and I, could speed up my fat loss a little bit more. If you are, however, getting say maybe 2,600 calories a day, and you're noticing your weight is either staying the same or trickling upwards a little bit, that would be a good reference point to say, you know what, I probably should cut out maybe a snack or two during the day, and then I can pepper in some cardio as well and see what happens there. And then try to keep that the same, right? So if you're, cardio is a certain amount and your approximate calories in a day are the same amount, then you track your body weight, you'll have a much easier time deciding, okay, would it feel easier, if what you want to happen is not happening, as in you're not losing weight, you can then take those standards and say, which lever should I pull here? Would it be easier to do more cardio or eat less food? And you just kind of have to weigh your options there. But at least you have a starting kind of knowledge of, this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to go. So yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I wanted to mention in here is that, in addition to, eating less and trying to be cognizant of that, I think it's also another argument for kind of trying to standardize your amount of calories would also be that it is easy to, if you're just listening to hunger cues solely, and you don't have any idea how many calories you're eating, it can be a little bit tempting to eat more, because as our bodies are put into a caloric deficit for a little bit longer or a little bit more intense, we're going to have a little bit more hunger. And that's no reason to freak out. I'm a little bit hungry right now because I'm cutting right now, and I'm just like, okay, hunger, I see you, you're there, I'm aware of you. But I'm also cognizant of how many calories I'm getting, and I know it's enough to like keep me running throughout the day. I'm not worried that I'm gonna keel over and collapse. And I also know that if I wanted to speed things up, I could go a little faster and blah blah blah. But the point is that I'm okay being a little bit hungrier when I know that it's not an extreme deficit that I'm in. My weight isn't tanking and anything like that. But it's just good to know that, because I don't want to also just say, well, I'm hungry, so I should probably eat. because it's not necessarily a bad thing to be a little bit hungry when you're dieting, you know, or maybe I shouldn't say dieting, maybe I should say trying to lose some body fat, because dieting has some negative connotations now.